This is a live observation video as well as what to expect heading into tomorrow morning. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about are temperatures. And what I'm going to do now is draw the current line of freezing, something like that. Now, this is the line of freezing, right? It's cold enough up here to snow, obviously, because it's snowing up there. But down here, much of southeast Jersey, south and east of the I-95 corridor, is still in that 34 to 36 range, with not much happening on roads. You get a lot of rainfall, a little bit of a snowy mix, maybe up close to this line. But this line of freezing is going to try and advance to the southeast a little bit further, but it's not going to make it that far. It's probably going to make it at most to the tips of those arrows. Again, a marginal temperature environment that we are fighting with this system. Now let's look at current radar. And what I can do is draw on this the current snow rain line, which is about like this. And this too is going to try to advance to the southeast, but it's really not going to get much further again than about the tips of those arrows at most. So that really puts the area, say between here. That's an arrow. Let's use a line. Maybe between here and here, under the winteriest conditions to finish out this system. Now, this is in that area where we called for 1 to 2, locally higher. So if anyone is going to break that 2-inch mark, it's probably going to be in this area. We have Easton PA that's at 1.5 right now, and they have a few hours of snow to go. So it looks like they'll get over that. But this is the main band across New Jersey. And given that eastern central New Jersey will finish last, you could probably argue that if anyone's going to get into like more of a 2 to 4 situation, it's going to be right in this area. And let me show you why. So, this is the Zone Watch radar app, which I absolutely love for radar. It shows the precipitation type depiction better than any other radar I've seen. But what we can also do is look at short range models as future simulated radar in this exact format. And that's what I really love about Zone Watch. I'll put a link to the Zone Watch app in the description. But this is 11 p.m. on the HER model, right? It's pretty much right now, and it's close. And notice you have this back edge that's moving pretty quick along the Mason-Dixon line. It's already starting to fill in behind it. This is going to come to a slow halt, maybe right around here. And then what's going to happen is an enhancement by the low that's ejecting into the ocean. So if we take a step back, the low pressure, is probably right about, I don't know, here right now. And it's going to depart and swing up a little bit as it drops to about maybe 998 millibars, somewhere in the 1,000 to 998 millibar range. But as it makes that curve, it's going to build the precipitation shield right through this area, about like that. And maybe not so much down here because it gets shut off, but at least through Jersey, it's going to go right through that zone that I'm talking about. And if we go a little bit closer here on the HER, again, this is 11 p.m., which is right now the time I'm recording this. Midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. 4 a.m. you have the back edge moving through, and it clears by 5 a.m. But from now through 4 a.m., you got East Central Jersey in a cold spot, and they're going to finish last with snow. So that's 5 more hours of snowfall for that area that I outlined. In right in here, right? But we do still think that this area is going to see the most amount of snow from this. And again, it's a heavy wet snow. This system's really not that big a deal. It was sort of made a big deal on social media this week. A lot of drama out there. First you had last weekend you had some weather weenies post 1 to 2 foot snow maps, right? And then you had professional meteorologists knee jerking to that and writing the system off completely 6 days before this. And it's just been a dramatic conversation online I've seen throughout this week. Bobby Martrich and I at EPAWA and Weather NJ, we try to communicate as responsibly as possible these hazards. So, we basically track this thing in from almost 10 days out, and we arrived at a 1 to 2 locally higher possible. Sort of a middle of the road of no storm versus storm. The weenies should not have posted those large snow maps a week in advance. It just causes unnecessary panic, and the pros should not have written this off 5 6 days in advance. So I don't like what I saw on either end, honestly, on both sides of the spectrum. I think the public communication needs to improve from both ends. So maybe there'll be some conversation about that online this coming week after this system clears out. Um, but sorry to go there with you, but that's just something that happened. I've never seen a coding to 2 to 4 type event get so much attention online. But unfortunately, here we are. So hopefully we can put this thing to bed and move on, finish out the last few innings of the baseball game analogy with winter. So we're about halfway through the 6th inning, a couple innings to go. Winter's not over. Don't write it off. Don't be the fan that leaves the stadium in the 7th inning and misses the grand slam. Don't be that person. But yeah, we do have a lot of winter still to go. And when all's said and done, I think our snow map's going to do pretty nicely across North New Jersey and Central New Jersey, with Southern New Jersey seeing just mostly a rainy mix. But that was our final call heading into this, and we're feeling pretty good about that. So everybody have a great rest of your Sunday night, and please be safe.